It's 12 minutes to 9 right now, and these days drones are used for all sorts of things, filming, even delivering pizzas. Well, it turns out they could also be used to save lives. A new study out of Sweden found that drones carrying user-friendly defibrillators, you know, the kind that anybody can use, could get to a patient about 16 minutes quicker than an ambulance, which in some cases could be the difference between life or death if somebody's had a heart attack. So are we likely to see technology like this taking over anytime soon? Gorilla Technologies' Paul Spain is with us this morning. Good morning, Paul.
Hello.
I feel like this is an episode of What Next, and you're our resident futurist. So tell us, let's take the defibrillators to start with. Is this application something we're likely to see in New Zealand skies anytime soon?
Quite possibly, because in this case, you're talking about cutting off 75% of the time that it takes maybe an ambulance to get to a person. That's enough time, could save somebody's life. So that's a good use of this technology. Some of the other uses that we hear about, getting pizzas to people and so on, they're a little bit more questionable in terms of how they would help society.
And if you think of it, if we're talking about defibrillators, how hard is it going to be in terms of the range of the drone and how much it can carry in terms of weight? Where are we at with the technology right now?
Well, I guess there's two types that are sort of mainstream. There's the copters, which are usually four or more rotors, and then you've got ones that are more like a traditional aeroplane, but very small. Those have much bigger distances. So we've seen some testing and use of that technology in Rwanda, where they have very poor roads, very hard to get medical supplies to hospitals and so on. They've been utilising that technology where they have a range of about 100 kilometres, and they can get to locations very quickly, and then they drop off the medical delivery via a small parachute. So there's quite a mix, there's quite a distance that can be covered.
That's pretty amazing. So that's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
I guess what people are sort of interested in, because it seems one area, drone technology, where things are changing quite rapidly. Do you see a time where New Zealand skies are teeming with drones?
I'm hoping not, unless we can make them a lot more quiet, because right now certainly the technology is quite noisy. There are already regulations in place that would stop that happening. There have to be a change in regulations to allow us to open up the skies.
Right, well, let's talk about the regulations. What's currently in place?
So we have a situation where you can't fly too close to an airport, also where you need to be flying over property that, in most cases, that you control. You can go and personally fly a drone at a local park in some parts of the country, but other parts of the country you've got to go through and call up the council and get their approval to fly. So there are those sorts of steps that have to be jumped through. But I think here in New Zealand our government is very keen on utilising these types of technologies, so if it adds up and makes sense for the community, then that's something I think that they will support.
We've been focused on medical care, but there is one other major area where drone technology could turn things on its head, and that is the logistics industry. Talk us through that.
So lots of work going on in the logistics industry with drones, robotics, artificial intelligence. So that really will be turned on its head over the next 10 years. Some examples that we've heard about in terms of drone usage might be a train that's travelling one length of the country to the other, and could have drones attached that will fly off as it goes through a particular town and just drops off the goods that are needed in that area, or takes a delivery to a particular location. Similar things have been tested in the US with DHL, where they have a courier van that's driving around in the country doing deliveries, and so that they can get more deliveries out with just one truck and one driver, a drone would take a package from the truck, take it to one location while the driver's going to another nearby location.
It's incredible, isn't it? And this is just around the corner.
It is. Yeah.
Fascinating
We
stuff.
have the technology right now.
Paul Spain, thank you.
Coming up tonight.